I'll take it away. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Seán Gearailt. I am going to be playing Tony, and additionally, the other characters that I'm going to be playing also include Mrs. O'Leary, Mrs. Lehan, Mad Mary, and Lethal Weapon. You can follow me on my professional performing social media on Facebook at Seán MacG Performer. So that's capital S-E-A for the N, space M-A-C, space G dot line performer. And likewise on Instagram, it's at Seán MacG _ performer. So that's SEANMACG _ PERFORMER. So as Alex mentioned, we had to improvise with our individual urns. This is my one. I don't know if you can see that properly. That's yes, you can. That's all well and good. And on a final note, thank you all for having us, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Seán Corcoran. I am an actor based in Cork, and I will be playing Deck as well as Sister Ursula, a couple of strangers, and a very, very disgruntled bus driver. I am co-artistic director of The Gays Presents, and you can follow me on Facebook, or my Instagram handle is at SeánCorcoran14. And very excited to be bringing this to you all this evening, or in the morning, as our Irish friends, maybe whoever's joining us. But anyway, really hope you enjoy it. And back to Alex.
Right, so thank you, lads. We hope you all enjoy it. Without further ado, this is a stage reading of My Maxi Brother by Gaye Shortland, script adapted by Johnny Hanrahan. Scene 1. Enter Tony, Liam, and Deck. Tony adores the crowds. He is in his element to be regaling his adoring public with his story. He is quick of wit and has a mischievous glint in his eye. Liam is most cautious and sensitive of the trio, but is certainly no pushover. Deck is most outlandish. He prefers to act now, ask questions later, even though his spontaneity sometimes gets him and his friends into trouble. Tony addresses the audience.
Jesus. At last. A captive audience? I can't believe it. I've been waiting for this a long time, you know. I know I get your attention one of these years. So how's it going? How's tricks? I suppose I better take the bull by the horns and just tell you straight off that I'm dead. Sorry. I know it's a bit embarrassing like, but there it is. Passed away, crossed over, no visible means of support. And before you ask, or don't ask, it was AIDS. And how did I get AIDS? Well, I'll tell you, it was easy as falling off a log, and it was all the rage over at the time. The name's Tony, by the way. Acne, as we say up in Mayfield. And it's great to be able to talk to ye. I mean, up to now, like I've had no one to talk to here, in limbo or purgatory or wherever the fuck I am. And I'm here 7 years by Mangan's clock. And for some reason, I don't understand. There's no other spirits here. Only me. No ghosts, holy or otherwise. Did I hear you say vampires? I haven't met yet. Still hoping though. Not that I'd be his type, but sure we could always fake it. But anyway, to cut to the chase, me brother Liam knew that I wanted to be cremated and me ashes scattered on the grave of little Nellie, holy God above and the good shepherd. So he had me cremated over and he brought me home in a bag, in his luggage, like, in a shoulder bag. And you know, I thought it was a nice touch, you know, like Oscar's a handbag. And there I was, not born nor bred, but dead in a handbag. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And you see, there wasn't any orientation course. I suppose you could say it was just like life. I didn't know how the fuck I got there, why the fuck I was there, or what the fuck was going to happen next. And like, was it a breakthrough or a crossover? Had I gone all alternative or had I gone mainstream? But anyway, rest in peace, how are ya? That's all balls. I have had nothing but hair-raising experiences since I died. like on the boat. So there we were, staring at the waves, and next thing I notice a well-heeled fiend further along the rail lamping us. And Jesus says, aye, here we go. And sure enough, Liam scores, and I'm in fear of my life because I think we're going to dip into the jacks for a quickie and forget me there. And I'd be spending eternity going back and forth over the Irish Sea in the bog of the Inishfallen. A fate worse than death. As it happened, your man up the cabin, so instead I spent the night thrown on the floor, listening to them shagging each other senseless. Imagine how I felt. I could smell it. Anyway, at long last, there we were, going through customs with me and the urn in the shoulder bag, clanking away against the bottle of whiskey the langer on the boat had given Liam for us services rendered.
What's that?
Says the customs man rapping the urn with his knuckles.
Mind that, 'tis me brother!
What do you mean? You can't be carrying a sealed container like that through customs. We'll have to open it up. What have you got in there anyway?
'Tis me brother. He died of AIDS London. I had him cremated over.
Well, you should have seen how fast your man had bundled me back and chalked up the bag. It's easy for Liam that I didn't have street value like.
Scene 2. Public toilets.
And there he is now, la, as I remember him in the sunshine of our happy youth, sucking cocks in the cats and the dogs. All the jacks down by the dog's home. And how we worked that jacks, you see, was there was a hole in the wall between the two of them, and you could actually do the business without seeing the other fella at all. It was a real turn on and handy to say the least.
Oh.
One night, I got lucky and picked up a sailor there.
Do you come here often?
Only when there's a banana boat.
Tony and Sailor have wild, choreographed sex while upbeat salsa music plays. Liam dances to the beat and joins in the fun.
Before long, I found myself banging away in the lower bunk in some cabin or other down by the docks. And there was another pair hammering away in the top bunk the night long. And in the morning, the two sailors fucked off to peel their bananas or whatever. And next thing anyway, I sees this face looming over the edge of the bunk above.
Here, have you a light?
And 'twas Liam, me brother.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing here?
Working me passage to Rio, what the fuck do you think I'm doing here? Langer.
Scene 3. Tony follows Liam onto a crowded bus. The driver is a grumpy older man who occasionally fiddles with the dial of the radio. The salsa music from earlier blares out again.
So anyway, we get on a number 8 bus, crammed to the gills, and head on away up to Mayfield. Liam on the front platform of the rake of the other passengers, me down next to his feet, and his ass parked on the thing between the platform and the driver. Kind of pushed up against the driver's left arm. Always hopeful, me brother Liam. Mayfield, here we come. Mayfield. You know, where they tie the children to the chair and go off down to the pub. Or else they take the children and leave the chip pan boiling on the gas stove in the hopes that the house will burn down and they'll be given a transfer to another part of the city. That's where I grew up. That's what makes me a Norrie, and I'm proud of it.
Bus door swings open with a bang. The door's open!
One of the 10 passengers on the front platform like, do not cross the white line, I'll talk to the driver.
Well, what you want now? Do you want me to get you another bus or do you want me to get you home? Make up your mind now. So 'tis an automatic door. Watch now, and 'twill take off and 'twill close again.
Door bangs shut.
Holy fuck!
Watch now, we'll take another left and 'twill open again.
Door bangs open and shut yet again.
St. Anthony guides. I nearly died. I thought I was gone. I could see myself flying out the door and getting ground into Summerhill underneath a fucking bread van.
The driver turns up his radio. Suddenly, Whitney's I Will Always Love You blares throughout the bus.
And I will always love you. Hey, keep your head down there now, I can't see to get you up the hill. Love you.
Tony and Liam get off the bus. The driver zooms off.
St. Anthony, boy, there's always a bed for you in my gaff. Mayfield. Ah, the top of the world, where the hills are alive with the sound of 10,000 Norries all talking at once. What do you call a Norrie in a suit? The defendant! I'm sorry, Mom. I know, girl. I know it's my own fault. All the tears. All the salty tears. It'll turn into a pillar of salt, Mom. Oh, Christ, Liam, I can't bear it. I can't go in home, okay? Right? Just anywhere. Take me anywhere at all but home, okay, Liam, please? How about Deck? Go to Dexla! Oh, yes! Thank you, God! You bastard!
Scene 4. Deck springs on. Deck!
Deck!
The following section is Camp Central. The trio lip sync to Gayner's I Will Survive, and the choreography takes them into the audience, where they dance, interact, and fool around. It is a beautiful flashback of how things used to be. Deck's kitchen. Liam produces a bottle of whiskey. Seán and the boat.
Oh, don't mention the word boat to me.
What?
I don't want to see another boat for as long as I live.
Right, what's up with you, girl?
I'm going into dry dock, Permo. What do you have to do for this, anyway?
Oh, round the world. But come here to me. What's all this? Don't mention the boat.
Swansea.
Swansea?
Swansea and back.
What?
A round trip, a magical mystery tour just last week.
What are you on about, girl?
To well-heeled fiends the world over.
Down the hatch.
Your health, lads.
And sure, when I got back, the buzzard wouldn't feed me.
Why not?
The Gestapo bitch had her hand out for me dole money. She looked just like a toll booth.
But on you, Mrs. Larry. And you were skint, of course.
What you think? Down the hatch?
Ears, big ears.
Here's mud in your eye.
The bosom. How is she?
Ah, torturing me. Wafting the smell of dinner up to me day in, day out for 4 days.
4 days. Hardly reward, Sham.
She devil! Say Kyle.
Deck adores his all one.
What is this?
Deck.
May I ask you, my child, if you've been engaging in unnatural practices across the water?
Deck.
Or could this be a container for some illegal substance? Such
Deck.
as, for example... What? What is it, Liam?
Tony's dead. He died last week.
He's gone.
Tony, that's his ashes there in the urn.
His ashes?
Yeah. But he didn't want to be buried over, so I just had him cremated.
This is Tony.
What's left of him.
Tony.
Got it in one, Deck.
Was he bad at the end?
He was drugged to the eyeballs. He didn't know if he was coming or going.
Why didn't you send for us? Can we open it? I'd like to see what it's like.
Yes.
Deck opens the urn and sticks his fingers inside. A jolt runs through Tony's body.
And Deck prods his middle finger into the ashes, and I swear to God, a tremor goes through me of pleasure. I mean, yeah, really, really weird, like, especially since he never turned me on when I was alive in the flesh. I mean,
amazing. Amazing. To think that this was Tony.
Was Tony, how are you? And what are you like, a fucking scientist or something? Amazing, amazing.
Deck, boy.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm a bit weak at the knees, like.
Malnutrition, yeah?
That's it, yeah. I'm like Terence McSweeney, I'm fading fast. But you know, as the Bon Secours say,
No cross,
no crown,
more to suffer.
more to offer. Jeez, I feel well schooled. Come here, do you have any money on you? I have a fierce mind for a rasher.
Rashers it is. Denny's best, a chipolatas for afters. I'll just nip across to kitties.
Thank you, Rita, saying to the impossible. Mwah.
Scene 5. Deck is alone with the urn. He's overwhelmed by what he has just heard.
Deck. Deck boy. Come over here.
Deck looks over at the urn. He picks it up, holds the urn close to him.
Deck boy.
Tony holds out a hand as if he's going to touch Deck. Suddenly, Liam returns. The moment is over. Scene 6. Deck starts to cook the food, very efficiently.
God, to think if his dick wasn't such a monstrosity, I could be living it up in London right now.
His Dick? Who's Dick?
Caspar.
Isn't the friendly fucking ghost.
That's me, like.
No, Caspar. The fellow I went to Swansea with. I met him out bevying in loafers. A foreigner. From here, if you don't mind. And this is love, says I to myself. But the problem was his appendage. It was monstrous.
That sounds to me like you struck gold.
Hospital's the place to get your tonsils out. It was Law's young dream anyway. And the next morning it was farewell to Erin and off to London with us on the boat. To live together, like. But we're hardly as far as Cove when I notice he's a face on him. There's a few things I want to say to you, says he. Right, says I. You get on far too well with women, says he. I want you to stop that. No problems, says I, grand. Another thing is, says he, I like to wear makeup. No problem, says I. You wear what you like, grand. And sure, you know me now, I mean, I like a man to be a man, but what could I say? I'd no money and he owned me. Next thing he was a vegetarian, I'd to be a vegetarian too. I mean, all this and we're only passing over Roach's Point, like. I mean, if I could swim, which I can't, I'd have jumped in and swum over to bunnies.
Fucking psycho, yeah. Scene 7. About half an hour later, Liam and Deck are merry and singing as Tony scowls at them.
So then, of course, 'tis the full Irish breakfast. Rashers, sausages and black pudding. And they have about a pint of whiskey a man. And this is fucking great, because the two of them are locked out of their skulls at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Enter Mrs. O'Leary.
Declan! In the name of Jesus! What's going on up there? Liam!
Scene 8.
I give over, will ye? What? What? Whiskey? At this time of day? Oh God, you're a disgrace! No wonder you're hysterical.
Tony's dead!
Lord, preserve us all from harm. Is that something to laugh about? God forgive ye, poor Tony. No hearts.
He's cremated!
Sacred heart of Jesus. She turns me around in her hands just like Deck done. And then she looks around as if wondering where to put me. I am, after all, an unusual household item. And she looks so hurt and concerned. And she puts me down next to the nightlight under the picture of the Sacred Heart. She even kind of arranges me in a better position next to the nightlight with its red glass dome. And it stands there looking at me. A bit of incense would be nice. Oh, Tony, God help him. To think of him in that little canister without a proper funeral orbit. His poor mother. Jack, get us a cup of tea there, will ya? And me silk cup blue, they're up on the shelf. Why did he go at all? Couldn't he have stayed? Jack!
Ah!
Do you remember that day before he went away? Your record at Gracie Field's last concert was on and you were dancing to it?
'Twas on the Isle of Capri that I found her, in the shade of an old walnut tree.
Jack, boy, you remember?
And sing as we go, and let the world go by.
Sing a song, we march along the highway.
Say goodbye to sorrow.
There's always tomorrow to think of today.
Oh, we laughed that day.
Oh, we laughed that day.
He had us drinking our tears. 'Tis all very fine for ye to be laughing, but look at where your shenanigans led Tony. Are you going to give that to your mother, Liam?
Oh God, she wouldn't want to, Mrs. Leary. She doesn't hold well with cremation, and with Tony, he want to be scattered at the grave, Nellie, holy gods above him, the good shepherds. A queer notion that came to him before he went.
The crater.
Scene 9.
So next thing, we're heading down to town. Just as we hit Luke's Cross, there's Scarlet teetering on the edge of the footpath across outside Henchies.
Deck! Liam! Regina!
Regina is Deck's nickname, like.
Well, lousy me, 'tis Mrs. Scarlet. Don't bother me and don't call me sugar. Jesus, wouldn't he disgrace you?
Enter Mrs. Lehan, tiny, in slippers and old cardigan, prancing flirtatiously. She flies in.
I'm like a young one down in me slippers.
Hello, Mrs. Lehan. How are you? Jeez, you're looking grand. Is that a new cardigan you're wearing?
Is it joking me where?
Liam! I was hanging by. When are you going back?
It's just an old thing I threw on me. Jacinta gave it to me. It shrunk in the wash for her. Ma'am, she says, what do we if we're going out to the line?
Regina! I was hanging, girl.
Now, you just take that Southern Belle simper off your face and listen here to me. You ain't got no more manners than a field hand. What do you make of her, Mr. Butler?
Well, in my opinion, a good lashing with a buggy whip to the tune of Dixie would benefit her immensely.
£30.
Deck, bye, come on.
£30.
Is that so?
Is it all right?
Oh, 'tis fine, but just £30.
You think I was an idiot, so?
I know, Mrs. Lehan. Sure, you only live once.
Is it too long at the back?
Deck, bye.
Not at all. Come here. The colour is massive on you.
I nearly had a seizure when she told me. £30, says she. £30, says I. Sure, that doesn't last kissing time.
I'm not interrupting you now, but are you coming, Deck?
Oh, who's that little cavlar?
Don't you know Liam, Mrs. Lehan?
Liam? I didn't know you at all. I thought you were in England.
I'm back for a while, Mrs. Lehan. Are you coming, Deck?
Off down doing pan, I suppose, gallivanting. He was a lovely boy. We always said he'd make a grand priest.
Deck, do you want us to come out? Yeah.
Liam and Scarlet were fed up with all this. I don't know. I was enjoying it, but then I was dead. Sure, I had nothing better to be doing.
Well, you say a little prayer for me, Mrs. Lehan, and don't go forgetting me now.
We get you. Sure. I'd never forget you, Declan. The novena to St. Anthony's coming up soon. And this year I'm going to do it for your intentions.
Look, I'd flake away. I have a jag tonight.
Look, will you hold on for a minute? Look, Mrs. Lehan, I hate to say this now, but don't go near Anthony for me, because as far as I'm concerned, he's a right chancer.
Will you come on? Good luck, Miss Lehan.
Good luck, Miss Lehan.
Good luck. £30. £30? Sure. That wouldn't last kissing time.
Scene 10.
So sing as we go until we hit McCurtain Street and stop just outside the cop shop.
Are we going into the club?
Our club happens to be across the street from the cop shop. Very respectable we are.
Nah, I have a jag tonight. I'm having my hair done in 20 minutes.
A jag, if you don't mind. Who are you meeting?
Fella, down from Dublin.
Wonders will never cease.
Newsflash, newsflash. Scarlett has a real date tonight.
You mean you're not going down to the docks to get beaten up? No, jeez, I'm amazed.
Met him last night. Works on RTE.
Oh, you flyby. Next thing you're on spotting the den.
He's nothing to do with the den.
You might get to shag Dustin live.
He might give you a gobble job. Gobble, 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 gobble.
I tell ya, he's nothing to do with the den.
Oh, it's Barney the dinosaur, so is it? I love you, you love me.
He's nothing to do with Barney either. Barney's a yank anyway.
Are you sure? Jeez, I heard his mother was from Grom.
God, 'twas scanty the way they slagged him. Poor Scarlett.
He doing pana.
No, we got something better to be doing. We got a funeral to arrange.
A funeral? Who's that belong to you?
We're taking Tony up to the Good Shepherds.
We are.
Tony?
Yes, he wanted his ashes scattered above little Nellie, Holy God's grave.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Liam. Oh, how could I forget? Poor, sorry. Sorry. Look, we have to flake away. We'll see you later. Look, Barney, yeah? I'm fucking mad. So bad. Sorry, Jesus Christ. Scene 11.
So sing as we go down past St. Mary's and up Sunday as well. On one of the bright days when Cork manages to look half decent. The way it climbs all the hills around and the spires of the churches bright and glistening, and give a finger to the sky.
Wish, Letchy, wish.
Beautiful city, charming and pretty. Beautiful city, my home, my valley. Me saying to myself, why did I ever leave it?
The trio enter the cemetery.
That's the grave. The one with the statue of the infant in Prague.
He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand.
Do you know, I'm amazed Tony liked this place so much. I always thought he was bored stiff whenever I brought him here.
Actually, this place always fascinated me. These huge trees and a kind of prayerful silence. The graveyard is a small little private place for the nuns in a far corner up the hill beyond the convent. Very old. I don't know where they buried the Magdalens, the fallen women like. And you see, the convent used to be a thriving orphanage and penitentiary in the old days, and all the bold children of Cork used to be threatened with being sent up to the Good Shepherds. Nowadays, all the unmarried young ones are walking around town with buggies. There's a slump in the orphanage industry. Well, all that progress.
I remember the first day that my Auntie Bessie brought me up here like it was yesterday. And that was the day when I realised what I wanted to be when I grew up. One of the nuns that I saw moving in amongst the tombstones. They look so beautiful. I knew that was it for me. Didn't occur to me at the time that it was impossible.
Budek. What are we going to do now? Are we just going to scatter him, or?
Now that we're here, it doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem enough.
We could leave the urn on the grave, or?
Oh, out of the question, they cleared away all the ex-votos.
What?
Ex-votos. They're offerings from people who've been cured, like crutches and surgical boots and the odd glassy eye or two.
What, exposures of some kind of condom?
I suppose they are, in a way, kind of insurance policy. Only poor Tony could have come and hung up his condom.
How about a deck?
Look, we'll have to think about this. If we're going to scatter him, we're going to make a good job of it. Come on, let's go.
And we went. And I was so thrilled I could have flown. Down the shaky bridge and along through Fitzgerald's Park.
The sun shines bright on Deck as the scene becomes much slower in pace. Deck and Liam strike sexy poses as smooth sax music plays.
With the sun glinting on Deck's hair and in the blue eyes of me, well, me suddenly like a walking erection. And mad for him. It's weird because, like I said, I never thought of hitting on you, but I had all my equipment, like.
The music cuts out and the journey is resumed.
So there I am, on a high, swaggering along and giving the finger to the whole Cork city and the whole shagging world that would never let me be myself when I was alive. So you think I'm peculiar? I'm a spirit in an urn and you're not, so fuck you. This is what I am. Now I know it's a bit late, I know, to be getting all assertive, ranting at the world when I was the one myself dead, fucked up, dead like a right Aegis. But anyway, into the door office in Morton Lane, 3 pints a man. And Deck comes up with a source of inspiration suddenly. And in no time at all, we were back up at Mrs. O'Leary's place with Deck going into combat mode.
Scene 12. Deck's kitchen. Liam heads straight for Deck's room as Deck stops to talk to him.
Declan! Is that you? You're back. Are you back? You're very late.
Here's your money, ma'am.
There's a smell of drink off ye at this time of day.
We just had the 1 pint, ma'am.
Deck follows Liam to his room.
Sacred Heart of Jesus. There's no wonder there's no neither luck nor wealth in this house. Tony knows what's in store for us all. When I think of poor Tony.
Pause. A knock on the door.
Who's that? At this time of day? I'm like a young one down in me slippers. Hi, Anula. I'm out in tea bags. How am I? How am I, Mrs. Lehan? How am I? I'm heart scalded. You put your heart on a plate for them and shit is your thanks. We swagged and we hauled all our lives. And what thanks do we get? Used and abused, Mrs. Lehan. Used and abused. When I think of it, I could get up at the pub with the rest of them all these years, passing bags of crisps out the door and money for ice cream lollies for all the good it's after doing me. But Declan's a good boy. Don't be so hard on him. Hard on him. I'll be dug out of him one of these days.
You know, you should take your cue from Rita. Lord, I would rather see my sons dead than have them stain their souls with sin. And think about it. Within the year, the prayer answered and both sons dead. And her married 18 years to a total bastard before she could enter the Augustinians.
And what happened to him?
Murdered. He was found up in the hills with a load of dagger wounds in his body.
Jesus.
Don't get me started on Rita, the unnatural bitch. God forgive me, but she was. Thorns stuck down his shirt when he was young to be like Rita.
Psycho.
Sure, it's a pity that Declan didn't last in Snoola. He was always a lovely boy. A lovely boy. A lovely boy. And there he is now, lad, all out in his nun gear.
Deck comes out of his room, looking lovely in a nun's veil. Liam follows, wearing the same outfit. He looks utterly humiliated.
I don't know, Deck, I'd be shitting bricks like.
I got a new veil. What you think?
As Deck helps Liam adjust his outfit, Tony files a veil of his own and puts it on.
You see, you'd always be a bit on edge when Deck was doing his thing, even though we knew old that it worked grand. But you see, the thing was, he really knew how to look like a nun. He spent a month as a novice before they found out the awful truth.
Come, my child, 'tis time we were about our mother's business.
The actors perform a dance routine to Maria from The Sound of Music. Scene 13.
So, it's up to the good shepherds with us and right into the lion's den. Tea with the Reverend Mother and her sidekick, Sister Ursula.
Liam as Bride of Frankenstein. Crackling, powerful voice, a truly terrifying creature.
Just come this way.
She had chilly blue eyes like a fish and a smile that they could have used in Dracula. The Bride of Frankenstein, I called her.
Yes, Sister Veronica. This is the very room where little Nellie died. Only 4 years old.
Mother Ursula was the exact opposite, laughing all the time and all over Liam like a rash.
Dec as Mother Ursula, a nun crippled with osteoporosis. She is the antithesis of the Reverend Mother. She is toothless and constantly giggles.
Oh, isn't it lovely? Oh, look at her toys, a bunny rabbit and a tin bugle. How I longed to see this all the time when I was in Australia. That's the statue that used to dance for her. She used to play her little trumpet and say, "Now, little Jesus, dance for me." And one of the sisters said, "Dear Lord, if you really did dance for little Nellie, could you send us a few bob for a bakehouse, which we badly need?" And a few days later, a lady sent £300 with a note saying, "For a bakehouse." So little Nellie was an orphan.
Her mother died of consumption, Sister. Mrs. Organ was her name. She clung to Nellie so hard at the end the child had to be torn. Torn, Sister! Rudely from her dying embrace.
Oh, tragic.
Indeed, Sister. But so is the story of your poor cousin.
Your poor cousin and the poor creator to die so young and so far from home. Oh.
Does that sort of cancer run in the family?
I'm afraid so. Some cases don't respond to treatment.
I'll inform the chaplain.
If you don't mind, he has a friend, a Benedictine, and I'd quite like him to officiate.
Certainly, Sister.
And how many people would you be expecting? We must give him a cup of tea at the very least. with Reverend Mother's permission.
Of course.
Well, there would be at least 20.
20?
I imagine so. Probably more, but I can confirm that later.
20.
Dec and Liam disrobe.
Liam looked sick. He said nothing till we got away down to the river. But then he started his jumping up and cursing and swearing at Dec.
What are we doing all this for?
My child take the discipline tonight.
All we have to do is go scatter the ashes and 'tis done.
The 9-tongued one and pray for self-control.
We'll say a few prayers if you
You'll
like.
find if you dip it in hot wax, the effect is vastly improved.
Jesus Christ, you're full of shit. Scene 14.
'Tis all pictures and no sound as we hit Singer's Corner.
St. Augustine's.
St. Augustine's.
Mother of Good Counsel and Rita.
No fucking way, boy. Not after that performance.
Listen and learn, Liam.
Nah, the valley for me. We throw it like the Sahara.
So they tell me.
I'm not going.
Look, Augustine's first, Valley after.
I'm not going, all right?
Liam or Tony. Just a quickie. The Mother of Good Counsel and a small word with reason. It's all I ask.
I suppose you've guessed by now that Dec is a bit of a cunt for the religion.
Dec.
It drives Liam spare.
No, do you know what? You're a scream. You spend your life on your knees, half the time sucking and half the time praying.
Liam?
You're a fucking hypocrite is what you are.
I am in my hole.
You wrote the fucking book, boy. The Hypocrisy Handbook by Dec and O'Leary. Dec enters the church. Liam shakes his head and follows him in. Scene 15.
Yada, yada, yada. Year in, year out. And then, of course, 2 minutes later, we're inside, kneeling at the little wooden rail facing the shrine, with its flowers and its candles and its nightlights with their blue glass covers, and the picture of the Mother of Good Counsel.
Panis Angelicus plays softly over the following. Liam and Dec bow their heads to pray.
I look at her, and I look at Dec looking at her. And a powerful feeling of peace comes over me. The goldy picture of the Mother of Perpetual Succour. There she is, la, holding the infant with the sandal off. She's gleaming in the candlelight. And there they all are, la, the holy souls in all their glory, floundering away in the chalky flames of purgatory. All technicolor now, like. with your one above holding the infant Jesus and looking straight ahead like she's saying, "This has nothing to do with me. Jesus, what can I do?" And the infant has a wreath of roses in his hand. And he's leaning over, trying to choose a soul to rescue from the flames. This is where I'm supposed to be, having the sins burnt out of me. And then I notice all these scraps of paper strewn all over the statues, stuck between the flames and even in the Holy Soul's hands. Looks for all the world as if someone tore up a whole bunch of waste paper, like 5 years fucked lotto tickets, and flung them up on the thing. But there's writing on the scraps. "Holy souls, please make my blood count and my cell count be normal tomorrow. Dolores." And it all comes back to me. All the counts, all the tests, all the results, all the prayers, and then all the pieces of paper shrieking at me. And it is, "Spare me from my family, and don't let him drink it at all. Please let him die now. And that one, I know which one. Don't let it be AIDS. And I can't bear it." And the candlelight starts swimming like I'm underwater. And I could see the Mother of Perpetual Succor across the church looking out with a knowing little smile on her face. "But why don't you tie the child's sandal?" "Jack? Jack, what are you thinking, old son? The funeral? Forget it. Who needs a fucking funeral? I don't. And I'm the only one dead around here. So what if you're a bit mental when it comes to the religion? I still want to be with you. And with a bit of luck, you and the boys might never get your act together. You might traipse around Cork forever, meandering around like the river, lugging me with ye and never scatter me. And who could ask for anything more?"
Tony kneels. The trio, very sincere. A moment of silent prayer. Scene 16. Gilbert and Sullivan's "I Am the Very Model of a Modern Major General" plays out as Dec and Liam run to the Long Valley.
She must have been listening all the same. Nice one, Mother of Perpetual Succor. Because I myself was praying for the good old days, to remember the good old times. So we hit the valley at around 10 o'clock, and there was a rake of fiends already there, having a drink to remember me.
Dec and Liam drunkenly dance to the song.
So, sing as we go, and the whole thing turns to a first-degree wake. Someone suggested that they drink me down with the Murphys, and they would have done if it wasn't for Dec.
I'm running this democracy. Funeral tomorrow, 11 a.m. sharp.
What do you call a nary in a suit?
Then it's
Music cuts out, and the scene suddenly becomes quieter as it changes to outside of the Long Valley.
And that's what we would have become if Mrs. Moynihan hadn't fucked us out on a cold, lonely night in Pana, just as another baby boy is born in the ghetto.
Funeral tomorrow, 11 a.m. sharp. Spread the word.
But Dec,
Huh?
where to now?
Where to?
Yeah. It's a bit early to go back to Mass, like.
Cut the fuck on, will you, Liam? You're not in London anymore, boy. What do you think this city is, a morgue?
Scene 17. The club. Music, hot stuff. They dance.
The club, same as ever. All decked out in scenery and bits of lighting and stuff swiped from the Eurovision Song Contest years ago and brought down to Cork in the back of a van.
Enter Dennis, affectionately known as Mother. Dennis knows everyone and anyone in the city. He is the Queen of Cork and commands respect, but isn't stuck up. Darlings!
There's Dennis, la.
Oh, and Mad Mary.
Darlings, how are you? Liam!
With your boa out on the floor flaunting yourself.
Mad Mary, a Gollum-esque creature. Mad Mary is the epitome of punk, or so he likes to think. Loud, brash, and not terribly eloquent.
Fuck off! Why?
Boys, I beg you, don't start squabbling. Oh, really? Can't they play some decent music? Mary, dear, could you ask them to put on some Kate Bush or some Annie Lennox, perhaps?
No, John Sutherland and the quartet from Rigoletto.
Fuck off! Why?
Class and breeding, command and elegance. Your catamite never ceases to astonish me.
Darlings, I'm so hideously depressed again.
Well, can't you offer it up for the souls in purgatory?
Declan, I'm a Protestant.
And that's what has you as you are.
Enter Mike, the dancing queen, a Michael Jackson lookalike who is the apple of Dennis's eye. Oh, 'tis the lash with a gash with a touch of the tar brush, is it? Still nothing doing. To whom are you referring in that disgusting manner? Sorry, meant, is it only Mike? Only Mike. Only Mike. The grandest, purest passion in my life. And the most hopeless.
Mike, the dancing queen, you see, was refusing to have sex with anyone back then because he thought that Michael Jackson had taken a vow of celibacy.
I keep praying for a sex scandal involving Jackson. And there's bound to be a sex scandal. You're not forgetting to pray for that now, Liam, are you? Oh, heaven stormed for you.
The power of prayer, huh? But at that time, Wacko was only into blowing bubbles, and that was feck all good to mother.
Would you look at the gatch on that? I can't bear it in my heart and my soul. Oh, is that where you're feeling it? Such beautiful bones. Little cock teaser. I lost me cherries! I lost me cherries!
Ah, Jesus, look, here's Scarlett. Ah, he's early. God, I hope he didn't get beaten up again. Where's Barney, girl?
I lost me cherries! I lost me cherries!
Go on, do you mean with Barney? Ah, you never did.
I did.
Tell us more, don't be coy, give us the details, like. Where is he, anyway?
Oh, Kevin! Oh, he's after going back to Dublin.
Already? He mustn't have been much impressed with your performance.
No, you see, he had to catch the halfling train.
No, wait, hold on now. When did this great event take place? I thought you weren't meeting him till 8:30.
Yeah, we had a drink in the bar, in the mess, and then went up to his room.
And?
He said we'd 10 minutes for the train.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
10 minutes before the train?
Oh, God, some people would do anything for the couple of bob.
What do you mean? 'Twas grand. He was lovely.
And what you make?
20 quid.
You stupid langer. Holy Jesus, you know business sense. 20 quid for that. And you a virgin and all. 20 quid for being savaged.
Savaged? I wasn't savaged. He was lovely, I tell ya. He was real gentle.
You need an agent.
Scarlett, if the experience was, as you described it, you must certainly have felt very relaxed with him.
But why bother to do it at all? I don't know why anyone wants to.
Declan, every man needs to be fucked. It extends one's experience in a way nothing else can. Mike sits opposite Dennis. How are you, sweetheart?
Fine.
Everything's fine. Sorry, Mother, no interviews. Hey, Wacko, the National Inquiry says you're deaf mute and all your songs are lip synced. What do you have to say to that? Liam, that's not fair. Didn't you see the Oprah Winfrey interview? Turns out Michael Jackson is quite the articulate person. So that was all a scam, didn't you hear? Turns out Oprah Winfrey's a ventriloquist.
How's Tony?
He's gone. That's why I'm home. How was it at the end? It's not too bad. Not as bad as I thought. Like I'm dove to the gills. He didn't know anyone. He didn't know me. I'm sorry, like, that he didn't know me. I mean, I never got a chance to say goodbye, you know. You're very brave, my dear. Dennis rubs back Liam's hand. Liam begins to cry. Tony turns back to him.
Don't cry, Liam. It's terrible when you do. So I can't do anything to comfort you. Like in London when you cried yourself to sleep. Why do something?
We're going to have a big farewell from up at the Good Shepherd's. That's what he wanted, and that's what he's going to get, to have his ashes scattered up there. The nuns are going to lay on tea, and there'll be a guest list. Select a course.
Fuck off!
Don't you worry about a thing.
Tony's just gone a little faster than the rest of us. Eh? Ashes to ashes. Clean.
There we all were. Well, there they all were. A family of sorts. The good sort. The club. A home from home.
The trio dance again.
So there we were, holding hands and swinging hips, when all of a sudden...
Enter Lethal Weapon, the inept Garda.
What's going on here now?
Jesus, 'tis the shades!
Fuck it, it's great to be back.
Oh, fuck, it's Lethal Weapon.
Jesus, 'tis the Vice Squad.
Shit, Lethal Weapon's heading straight for us. Slug him down, slug him down.
What are you drinking there now? This is not a licensed premises, understand?
Coke, Garda.
Well, that's not Cork now, as far as I can tell. We have no choice but to take you in.
Fuck off, Lethal, or go here and scratch your eyes out.
Don't you, Mary?
I'll hit you with me handbag.
Pull hard, girl.
Come here, is that a baton in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
Jesus Christ! Uncle, are you drugged? We will have to arrest you all.
Mayhem ensues. Liam and Deck escape with Lethal in hot pursuit.
And now 'tis the rooftops of Paris, or the attics of Cork, as I should say, with me two boyos breaking through a partition into the dumb next door, sued by the Guardians of Peace.
Deck and Liam, with Ern, sit at a table in the deaf and dumb and begin to sign like deaf people. Lethal beats his way through the partition, smashing it all up, and stops staring at the lads.
Come on now, lads, that's enough of that now. Come quietly now, and maybe I'll be able to do something for you. You're taking this too far now. We'll have to place you under arrest.
Are you looking for someone?
You know what you're saying at all?
Tu fahas un ton dostas.
What are you saying at all?
Are you mocking me? Could I report you to your superiors?
I'm placing you under arrest.
Cool. That means we're going to get frisked. Our lucky day. We better assume the positions. Dick and Liam bend over with butts in the air, wagging defiantly.
Jesus, wouldn't I love to hit you a thump?
Don't even think about it, guard.
Gay man molested by Gardaí.
Maybe it would be worth it.
Anyway, fierce shenanigans, and we end up over in the station being cautioned. Usual. But no sooner are we in the door when this Vanguard comes up to Deck.
Carmel, how are you, all?
And she starts on about the time Deck was pretending to be a pregnant young one up in the Good Shepherd's when he was 15.
Oh, God, the land when we found out he was a boy. Will I ever forget it?
And next thing, in comes Mother. Like he's arrived at the Oscars or something. And he starts going on about Lethal's cheekbones and how we'd like to paint him. No time at all, the Vanguardas handing out around tea and biscuits. We were all having a ball with all the brothers laughing their holes off.
Music. The sound of music. The hills are alive. Scene 19. Mother's house.
In the end, anyway, we went back up to Mother's house. Deck finished off a bottle of whiskey, and Mother gave a history lesson that we all knew by heart.
Do you realise that Shakespeare spent his entire life surrounded by transvestites. Minors at that.
They started beating it back to gin like there's no tomorrow.
Cleopatra, Juliet, Viola, all boys.
Mother's ruin is right. When he's on a high, you get trampled to death by his hobby horses.
Now, Alexander the Great.
Oh, he had a big thing about Alexander the Great. And when he was half ossified, he'd get fierce maudlin about Alexander's eunuch, the Persian boy. Oh, he'd weep into his whiskey. He had such a thing about this Persian boy.
And when they reached the tomb of Patroclus, they anointed themselves in oil and raced around it, naked, in celebration of that heroic friendship.
That's 20 laps around Father Matthews.
Oh, what a fall from grace.
Etc., etc. And 'twas all cheers, big ears all night long, and a whole litany of dead benders from Mother. Dec and Liam were passed out on the couch. Mad Mary had fucked off for another night of sweet sin, and in comes Mike.
Enter Mike. He is visibly nervous.
3 men left standing, if you'll pardon my French.
Fanfare. Tony assumes a directorial position. Scene 20.
All right, lights, camera, action. Yeah, I have my money on this one.
Baby, sweetheart, darling.
Christ, he's as nervous as a cat. Stall it, Mother. Careful, Dennis. Holy Mother, don't let this be a cock up.
Oh, sweetheart, I can't wait.
No!
What's the matter, sweetheart?
No, I don't want to.
Baby, it's all right. We won't do anything you don't want. Tell me what you like, sweetheart.
No, let me go.
Mike, please, sorry. I'm sorry if I was going too fast for you, or... Oh, haven't you had...
It's not that.
Sweetheart, don't you like me? Mike? Mike? Why, I thought you wanted me. But if you don't, that's all right. There's no need to cry like that. No need. Why are you crying like that?
Because...
Yes, sweetheart, be calm.
Because I thought...
Yes, what did you think?
I thought
Yes.
that maybe you loved me.
But I do love you.
No, you don't. You only want to fuck me.
What? That's not true. I do love you.
No, you only want to fuck me.
But Jesus, can't I do both?
Ah, nice one, Mother.
Jesus, can't I do both?
You see, it's always the same. It's always the same. It always turns out like that.
Like what, sweetheart?
They always just want to fuck me.
Oh, dear Lord. Who's they?
Anybody pretends to care about me.
No! Fuck this, Dennis! Fuck this, Christ! You're alive! For Christ's sake, and mad about each other! So what the fuck's the problem? There isn't any problem! There isn't any problem! Jesus! The fact that you're so fucking lucky is enough to make me weep with envy. The fact that you're making such a cock up of it is enough to make me want to kick you in the balls. Jesus! People! Fuck this, Dennis! Fuck it! Find a way out, boy! Try a clout around the ear hole! Try anything, but never say die! You see, you don't have to say die! You're alive! You lucky bastard!
I love you. Eh? You can be sure of that. Hey. You do look an absolute wreck. Go and wash your face. That's a good boy. Where's all your eye stuff and that?
In my jacket.
Angel, I tell you what. Dinner here, tonight at 8. All right?
Cool.
Exits. Scene 21. The sound of music, the hills are alive with reprieve.
Me death was a shambles, me wake was a shambles, and by the time we got back to Dex, I was dreading what kind of shambles me funeral was going to be.
Deck's room. He has the urn with him. He looks for a while at the urn, puts it down, undresses, and gets into bed.
So, the last night, the condemned man, what would I like for breakfast? Do I have any last requests? Jack! Jack, boy! You're not leaving me out here, are ya? 'Tis freezing! Jack! I think we have a communication problem. We should go on Oprah. Jack! Jack, boy, have a heart! Don't do this to me!
Tony looks imploringly at Deck, who has fallen asleep.
Look it, I can't bear it! Feelings. Bitter feeling. Flooding in. And the grave ahead coming at me a mile a minute. And parting from him. And parting from them all. And not having the courage to see my mother. And the memories of my death. And the pain. The pain of it. Been there. Done that. Got the t-shirt. Deck, boy.
Deck suddenly wakes up, contemplates the urn, then lifts it into the bed with him.
Yes, bliss. His heartbeat. Deck. Asleep again. But here it comes. That ache all over the body that I don't have. I want to move and stroke and rub myself all along the muscles of his chest and back and arms. To do what any stray cat can do that I can't. Down past his ribs and onto his belly. Yes.
Oh.
Nearly there.
Oh.
And I shove. And I'm trying to go down. Down. Oh, God. Please. Just once. And then the familiar feeling. Scalding tight, gripping me like a hand. They're coming in short spurts. Not yet. No. This might be the last and only time.
Deck comes loudly. He's jolted awake violently. He picks the urn and stares at it in confusion. Slowly, he gets out of bed and leaves the room, shirt and urn in hand. Tony stares sadly after him. Scene 22. The following morning. The convent.
11 o'clock. Judgment Day. When we hit the convent, there was a rake of people already there. The shades from a curtain street, the pack of doddering old folk. Deck's mother was with Mrs. Lehan, all dolled up and her handbag gone pink from grief. So when we went to find the Brank, the bride of Frankenstein,
Just to tidy up a few details, Liam.
she was in her office, wiping her nose. Christ, I resisted it. Me last moments spent watching her snorting. She looked up at the handkerchief with her the eyebrows, raised over the cold, fishy eyes.
Yes,
About the funeral?
yes. If you'll just wait outside. Liam, is it? Has Sister Veronica arrived yet?
Well, I believe she's Deck boy. Where is she? Deck and Liam do a double take. Horror. They've forgotten Deck's nun drag.
Oh. I'm Sister Veronica's brother, Declan. She can't come. She had to leave. She had to fly out this morning.
She's gone.
Yes. Trouble back at the convent. The Reverend Mother died. Committed suicide, in fact. Alcohol related. She drowned herself in a vat of communion wine.
Oh, that's terrible. I must have a word with Ursula. Ursula! Ursula!
A word with Ursula. That'll good, that'll do ya. Then it's into the kitchen for another nice surprise.
Deck,
Yeah?
the priest. What to do about the priest?
Oh, Christ above.
Deck, boy, you didn't forget!
Oh, fuck me.
What the fuck's the matter with you? Are you on something?
No,
First you get your lung gear, now we've no priest!
Look, maybe the Reverend Mother could do it, female clergy and all that.
The nuns would never stand for that!
Oh, we'll have to have the chaplain, so I hope he's around.
Deck and Liam come back, exhausted and panting.
So the two Muppets go squealing about the place, and there's me thinking that I'm going to be spending my afterlife among the tea caddies and be consumed for 11s. Given the choice, better to be scattered and go out with a blast, like.
Deck and Liam return. Right. Give us the fucking urn.
I don't have the fucking urn.
You don't have the fucking urn.
No, you have the fucking urn.
No, I don't. You have the fucking urn.
I have the urn. I don't have the fucking urn.
Yes, you do. Where'd you put it?
No, I don't. Where did you put it?
Come off it, Deck. You have it.
No, I don't. Where did you put it?
Come off it. You had it last.
I didn't. You had it last.
Jesus, we've lost it.
Lost the urn.
Jesus, we've
We've lost the fucking urn.
They run about again until Deck finally finds the urn. He clutches it tightly.
Thanks be to God.
Scene 23. Deck carries the urn into the chapel and kneels down.
So into the little chapel we go for a nice little breather. Jesus, she's everywhere. The mother of perpetual succor. All gold and green. And the baby in her arms, and he looking at the angel over her shoulder. And she still hasn't tied that sandal hanging off his foot. Wouldn't you think she'd tie his sandal?
Tony,
Yeah, Jack boy?
there's something I want to tell you before you go.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Remember when you asked me that one time why I was drummed out of the brothers?
Yeah. And you said you weren't, that you just left.
His name was Peter. He was straight. He's left since. And he's married since. I liked him. I liked him a lot, but we were caught one day. And didn't you go and tell the superior everything? About me and my life. My life. When all I wanted all my life was to be a brother, always. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to leave, but the superior sent me for therapy. I didn't see Peter being sent for therapy. Nah, with him it was just a case of carry on, genuflecting, body of Christ, body of Christ.
In the end, I felt so unhappy that I left Tony boy. I left the brothers.
No. Leave it behind you. It doesn't matter a damn. God. You only knew how much it doesn't matter. Sure, how could you be straitjacketed into the religious life anyway? There's too much life in you, Deck. Now, I know you can be a bit of a bitch, like, and a bit of a slut, but you're out on your own, boy. You're a fucking original. And you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, alive or dead. Now, come on. You'll be fine. You'll be grand. Let's go. Thanks for being with me, Deck, on my execution day.
Scene 24. Up at the graveside.
Up the hill, with the sunshine blinding me eyes, and all Cork stretched out before us, looking like heaven on a bad day. There's the grave and all gathered around. So what now? Will I melt into the spirit of a 4-year-old little Nellie? Is she still around? Hang on. No, chaplain. Who the hell is going to pontificate?
Dearly beloved.
What? Deck, a Protestant. Deck is letting a Protestant in on the act. Unfucking believable. There might be peace in the Middle East, yes.
We are gathered here to thank God for the life of Tony, our friend. We trust God will forgive him, whatever sins he hath committed.
Oh yeah, and how about me forgiving God?
We return this faithful servant to his master, confident that he made use of the talents God gave him.
I did too.
Like the wise virgins.
No, Dennis, they were the ones with the lamps.
They were the ones who had the oil ready for the wicks when the bridegroom, as I'm sure Tony had.
You're doing fine, Mother. Keep it going.
We must feel no resentment.
No resentment against the boyo who thought up a nice little number like AIDS. I know you're up there, you bastard, and I'm coming up to have a word with you soon.
We all had our own view of Tony. I always thought he was a seeker. Well, he was searching for love like the rest of us. But I painted him once, and he somehow emerged, looking like a question mark.
I did.
I'd like to think he has his answers now. Yes, well, let us say in Augustine's terms, thou hast made thyself for you, O Lord, our hearts are ever restless, rest in thee. Amen. Scene 25.
So then they scattered me. Some of them taking just an inch, some going for handfuls. Now they were nearly all weeping. But Deck didn't shed a tear. Just scattered away like the angel of death. I didn't feel any different after it scattered. I mean, the ashes were all there neatly on the grave. I was still all present and correct. And I waited for the end. And waited. And waited. Felt like the number 8 bus stop and I went Monday night. Purgatory. Deck, do something!
Nice one, Mother. You really captured the spirit of the thing.
Deck and Liam exit, leaving Tony alone.
Spirit of the thing! I'm the fucking spirit of the thing! And suddenly, we're miles from the grave and the ashes. And now the graveyard is below me. And the people scattering like bits of kaleidoscope. the river meandering along the shaky bridge, Fitzgerald's Park, swings and roundabouts, and the river splits, making an island, the heart of the city, the curve of Patrick Street. Sure, even Pan is bent. The docks beyond, the port of Cork, the Goldie Angel with his double trumpets, Dizzy Gillespie like, all set to give us an almighty blast 3 days before the last judgment to warn the people of Cork. If I know them, they'll only show him the finger and say, fuck off, boy. So here I am, new and improved Ultra Tony. A pure spirit at last. I'm out of me chains and back from outer space.
Deck and Liam suddenly spring back on and freeze in choreographed position. Tony stares lovingly at Deck.
Deck, look at you, boy. Look at you, la. I could stay in this moment forever, just looking at you. With the sun glinting in your blue eyes, shining on your goldy hair, and your smile, and your eyes lurking. The mischief of it.
I Will Survive begins to play again. The trio have one final dance together. Once again, they laugh, interact with the audience, and simply revel in the art of being. Maybe heaven exists after all. The end.
Yay!
Yeah! Yay! Bravo! Bravo!
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Hello. That was great,
Hello.
guys. Hey, good
Hey
work.
there.
My goodness. That was incredibly funny.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
it was amazing. Those accents are so sexy.
Oh, goodness.
Are the sexiest accents I've ever heard. Yeah, no, you got it. You got it.
Jesus, that's a first. Usually people think it's one of the least sexiest, but I mean if it works over there, fair enough.
No. It's gay sexy. Gay sexy. It's hot. So let's hear it for Seán. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And Shane. Yay!
Woo!
And
Thank
Alex, our esteemed actor and director. Yay!
Woo!
And if our brilliant playwright is watching, yay!
Bless you, Johnny.
Yes. So Alex, I think you have a few words you're going to say, or there's going to be a talk back, yeah?
Yes, it is my understanding that there is a bit of Q&A going on here. If anyone wants to shout out, I am going to let the two lads go because
Yes,
it is, I think, 4:30 in the morning over there. So lads,
25 past 4.
Yeah.
Do go get some rest, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedules to come and do this with us, especially over. So really
Thank you,
appreciate
Alex.
it, guys, and we'll let you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
Nice,
Thank you,
everyone.
John and Joe
Yay!
and everyone. Thank you.
Good work. Thank
All
you.
the audience still here. I just want to say that you maybe noticed throughout the show that there was a few dance numbers that we obviously couldn't include due to the restrictions of Zoom. But don't worry, because we do have a little sneak peek of what we did in August 2019 from the Gays Presents production. That is on the event page posted right now. So if you want to go and have a look at what we were like dancing to I Will Survive in a closed rehearsal, please go check that out.
That's great. And I think that we got the sense of it all. I mean, you guys had so much energy. It was incredible. It was like, I felt like it was a dance from beginning to end. So I'm going to turn things over to a talk back. I think Joe can take questions. I think they'll be typed in, and hopefully, Alex, you can answer them. As you know, this is Giving Tuesday, and Theatre Rhinoceros is making it through COVID-19 by producing 2 things a week. We have another show coming up on Thursday night at 8 o'clock on Facebook Live, a solo show, my show, and a bunch of new stuff coming up in the future. So please, if you'd like to make a donation to our theater to help us out in these trying times, therhino.org, THERHINO.org will take you to a donation page and will help us keep this programming going. So thank you, and your support is certainly appreciated. Thanks mostly for just tuning in. And so Alex, I will turn it over to you and Joe for questions. Joe, take it away. Yay!
Hey, thanks so much, John. Let me see. If you want to give us a question, you can simply type it in to the chat box. Let's see, from Jim McCunn, he said, I'd like to know about the history of the play.
Yeah, so the play is actually set in the early 90s. As I don't know if you caught at the start of the show, it's actually all based on real life events and real people. The author, Gaye Shortland, wrote this book. She's also been one of our biggest fans throughout this. So if you are watching this, Gaye, thank you so much. Really appreciate you giving us your story and letting us take it all over the world. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, specific history of the story. I suppose I'll talk about maybe the most controversial part of the play, where we were signing as deaf people. I personally do love that part of the play, because when you're with a live audience, when we get to that point, everyone is laughing, everyone's having a good time, and just that moment, everyone kind of goes, "Whoa, can I laugh? I can't." So I like bringing the audience to that kind of place of discomfort. But the thing about that is that it actually did happen. There's a street in Cork called McCurtain Street, where the old Garda station used to be, but also there was a vacant building that the LGBT community, because it was still a criminal offence to be LGBT in the early 90s, they had their makeshift club in this vacant building. They stole loads of equipment. I don't know if you heard of the Eurovision, but Ireland won it so many times in the 90s, so there was so much equipment lying around that we stole and took it for ourselves. And the club, it was just called the club, and that next to the club was the Cork Deaf Association, which was locally at the time referred to as the Deaf and Dumb. We obviously don't refer to that anymore. But when the guards used to come in and shut down the club, some of the lads just used to hop over into the attic and jump into the Deaf Association next door, and they used to actually pretend to be deaf people, and they were arrested and brought to the Garda station afterwards. So yeah, I think that's, I don't know if there's anything specifically you want to know about the history of the play, but all the information, yeah, whatever you want to know, just let me know. I think I don't know what else to talk about there.
Yeah, I can throw in there that, I heard about the play. I read about the play online several years ago, and it sounded fascinating. I really wanted to get it. I managed to get a hold of the novel, and I read that and thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'm usually really good at tracking down playwrights or agents or whoever, and I had the hardest time with this play. And then about, it was did you start in January with us, Alex? You came
January, yes.
Yeah, Alex started, and he just mentioned, and it was on his resume that he had just finished this production of mine, That 'Tis Me Brother. And about a couple of days earlier, I had heard about that production, and Johnny Hanrahan had responded to me and given me the script. So suddenly, not only did I have the script in hand, I had one of the actors in hand. Walking away from our first meeting with Alex, John said to me, maybe Alex can direct that for us as a staged reading. And so here we are. So that's kind of the history, how it got to Rhino.
Yeah, I saw as well just in the comments there, someone wanted to know about the performance history of this. So actually it was adapted as the script, there was a 2-act script adapted in 2002. It was performed with Meridian Theatre. That was Johnny Hanrahan's, the script adapter, his theatre company. He put it on to great success in Cork, and he tried to bring it to Dublin, where it wasn't received very well. And then he just kind of sat on it for a couple of years. He was actually our lecturer in our 3rd year of college, where he wanted to put a mini version of the show on as a fundraiser. And he actually invited myself, Niall Holland, not Seán McGarrett, a different actor, and Shane Corcoran to put on the show. And the three of us just fell in love with it. It was absolutely one of the best times, most fun times we ever had in theatre doing that show. And when we graduated college, we made it our goal to take it elsewhere. So yeah, we got on to Johnny, we got the rights to the script, and we put it on with our scratch company, The Gaze Presents, that's G-A-Z-E, and we had 2 very successful runs in Cork over the summer last year, sorry. So that is the production history, and now we've gone international with it.
Let's see. We have a question. Which actor was new to the play tonight?
So that is Seán McGarrett, the actor playing Tony. He was originally our sound designer for the Gaze Presents production. Fabulous actor, and I didn't even have to audition or anything. I just asked him, will you step in? Unfortunately, Niall Holland, the original actor who played Tony, had a commitment. He couldn't make it to this performance, but we are very grateful for Seán for stepping in there.
Seán was absolutely awesome in that play. I think a lot of people have fallen in love with Seán tonight.
He picked it up super quickly as well, so he's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen the other actor in the picture, Shane, except without a beard, right?
Yes, Shane's beard fluctuates throughout the year.
Yes. I think you showed me pictures of the original. I thought, I think that's him, except he's got a beard now. Very funny, very funny.
Also, on that point, we do have some images of the Gaze Presents production. They're up on Rhino's Facebook and Instagram story. So if you do want to get more of a sense of like how it was staged back then, or just like if you're certain parts of the show, you were like, I couldn't really see that working on stage, there's pictures up there for the next 12 hours, I think. So if you want to go check them out, they're up there for you to have a peruse.
Awesome, and I just wanted to put out there that we've got those questions, but we're also just getting a lot of enthusiastic comments about how much people have enjoyed this, that it's lovely, well done, lads. Thank you so much. Yeah, so enthusiastic crowd tonight. Are there any other questions for Alex? Well, if not,
did you ever be able to do this somehow? I mean, we were talking at a board meeting, and one of our board members said, you know, we really should do a show with another queer theater in America, like in Boston or Chicago. And then the next morning, Joe and I were talking, we're like, why don't we just ask Alex to do this? Did that ever occur to you? This is like the magic of coronavirus, you know? It's like the things you find yourself doing that you would never do otherwise because you just wouldn't think of them. It's like Columbus. It's like, it's easy to discover America, but you had to do it. I mean, did you ever imagine you'd be doing this?
No, not really. I was actually not too enthusiastic coming into it because like, I had my own idea of how I wanted the stage reading to go and stuff, and obviously I had to like shift all those ideas to fit into this format. But like I think after maybe like 5 minutes talking to the lads, I was like all for it, and I was like, this is a fun show. I feel it's a show that can translate to like multiple platforms. And yeah, I think before we went live today, I just said to the lads, like, it's fun. You have fun with it. We're going to have fun with it. And the audience will hopefully have fun with it too. So yeah, I didn't anticipate doing something like this, but it ended up being a very fruitful experience. And I just really appreciate that. Like, even Theatre Rhino is keeping like theatre alive during this time. Obviously very difficult time for many people. And I think creativity needs to flourish during this. And Theatre Rhino is keeping that alive. So thank you to yourself, John, and Joe. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I mean, I think the play is really about relationships, and they really came across. The way you guys did it, you just seemed like in tune with each other, and it was well staged. I mean, you punched and somebody got hit. It was like magic, and that might seem like not a big deal, but it's funny how we're learning how to do these things in Zoom, and that's the best punch I've seen in Zoom. That's the best punch I've ever seen in Zoom. You've got the best punch on Zoom.
Well,
someone just put out a question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I said this platform is opening up a lot of different opportunities for theatre as well. So I think I think this platform might take off after this.
Somebody's already said that to me. You should consider doing this as a regular thing because people are just when are they going to want to leave their homes? And some people just don't want to leave their homes anyway. I mean, some people just want to stay at home anyway. Anyway, you had a question, Joe.
Yeah, one of the viewers asked if we could share the details for Tony and Dec again. When they introduced themselves, they gave their web pages, their Instagram handles. Could you maybe, Alex, put that on the event page?
Yes. So if you want that, I can post that on the event page. I'll put it in the bios, in the bio section, so you can just jump in there and you can take all their information if you need it.
Great, thank you. Okay, well, thank you once again, everyone. Thank you, Alex, so much. You were just amazing, you as an actor and as a director. Thank you, and for the time you put into this. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all the viewers for joining us tonight. And as John said, we have another one coming up in just a couple of days. Facebook Live presentation at 8 o'clock of another one-man show of John's, this time with sharks. And
it's got sharks. It's a local story about
a local story.
Not land sharks. Sharks in the water.
In the water. Scary.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Thanks, Joe. Good work.